Yo, what's up, guys? This is going to be an in-depth guide for just avoiding mistakes, progressing through the game, basically like a beginner to pro slash expert. Now, just a little bit of context. I'm on my free-to-play account right now. I do also have a pay-to-win, but what I'll do is I'll make a separate video on the shop. So if you guys are interested in spending a little bit of money, if like you're planning to do that, I'll just do a separate video on that. But for this video, it's mostly for free-to-play and beginners. Yeah, we'll just dive straight in, and to give myself some credibility here, we'll just take a look at where I'm at. So I'm in chapter 6 on the story. I just finished this. I was actually able to kill Kang Taeshik first try, and I was able to get all these 3 trophies here. So, I mean, yeah, just because I did the early access on another account, I kind of know what mistakes to avoid and how to spend your resources wisely to be able to do stuff like this. So in terms of progression, this video should be really helpful. Now, of course, you're going to be able to claim these tickets. Just try to do all the trophies here. I'm going to have to go back and do this one because I missed this. I was 20 out of 21. But yeah, this is really going to be helpful for summoning tickets and getting more hunters and weapons as well. We can also take a look at Sung Jin Woo himself here. And the idea of this is for stats, you want to mostly focus on attack, crits, and a little bit of precision. Once you get further there into the game, you're going to be able to amplify this with your artifacts. But in the meantime, this is just what I have so far. We can kind of take a look. You are going to be shooting for 50% crit and just as much crit damage as you can, as well as much attack as possible. This is just for Sung Jin Woo. But in the early game, yeah, it's a little bit tough to do that. Now, for his abilities and skills right here, I have 2 separate builds based on if a boss has a break bar or if a boss does not have a break bar. So if the boss does not have a break bar, I'll just go straight up damage with Cutting Rush and Vital Strike. But I think most bosses do have a break bar, so in most cases, I would probably actually switch over, make a couple different builds here. For this other build is my first one. I'm using 2 break abilities, so Multi-Strike, which is really good, does medium break, as well as what is this? Death Stance. So this is heavy break. So just be aware of that. You can also get some of these skills and runes from, I believe, fusing. This does cost a lot of resource, so you're not really going to be able to do it that often, but go ahead and fuse whenever you can. Try to get, your skills upgraded and runes as well. That'll definitely help with some of the progression. So that's the idea for Sung Jin Woo. The only other thing to talk about here for him is his weapons, which you kind of have to be careful about this because you're not going to be able to level up every single weapon here as a free-to-play. You're going to have to pick and choose which ones that you're going to want to level up, and then I would just diversify this. So there's different elements in the game. There's water, fire, wind, and light. I don't have any like SR, like wind or light weapons, so I'm still waiting to get those, but for now, I have Frostbite for water. I have Orb of Avarice for fire. This is the Kasaka is just like the default one. But just so you guys know, I'm not going to be really leveling up these other ones. So like this Dragon Scale, I'm not going to use this. Night Killer, I don't think I'm going to use this, although I think this is actually probably pretty good. But I think the Orb is just as good, if not better, than the Night Killer, so I'm probably going to level up this one. And that's the idea for Sung Jin Woo. I can also switch over to my hunters here. The main thing to note down about hunters is each hunter scales off of different stats. So just keep an eye, like when you're putting on artifacts here, like for example, Kim Chol over here, he scales off defense, HP, and defense pen. So if I take a look at his gear, I was really looking for like defense, defense pen, and that sort of thing. And you can look at this for all your hunters here. So just go ahead and look at the recommended stats. I would also probably look up guides for each hunter that you're planning to use. I've already done a few guides myself, and I'll have more coming out. So that just like we'll talk about like more their skills and artifacts, so you can build them out correctly as well. In terms of some of the game modes, Gates is going to be your best bet for XP. You do get some other stuff like some artifacts, some gold, but mostly for XP. You're going to want to use up all your keys right here so that you can go ahead and claim the XP. Right now it says gold because I've already used all mine. But yeah, just go ahead and complete the gates. Use up all your keys every single day if you can. And then just keep an eye on the recommended element. So for example, this boss is weak to fire, so I'd want to use a fire weapon and fire hunters. If possible, that'll make the game a lot easier. And same for story, usually applies there as well. I don't think I have it unlocked, but once you get Battlefield Trials, that's a really good area right here to get a lot of good I think it's just resources it mostly gives you. So keep an eye out for that. The Hunter Archive, I think you just get essence stones from that. And I can talk about that as well in terms of the draw area. So the game does start you off with a good amount of essence stones. It's okay to spend your essence stones on tickets here. The only thing to really note down is you want to do 10 at a time, because once you do 10 at a time, you get a guaranteed SR. So hopefully something decent that you can actually use. You can go ahead and do the 10 draws. I would not do the single tickets though. So whoops, I did not mean to do that. Don't do what I just did. Oh, I actually got an SR. Wow, that was kind of lucky. But don't do what I just did. Usually you're not going to get an SR. That was kind of crazy there. Maybe for the video it gave me some luck there, but that's the idea for the tickets. You get a lot of resources from like the challenges, you know, your daily quests, so just be sure that you're completing these as well. There's also some of the other areas like crafting, managing teams, hunter preview. The mining is really important. Basically the idea with the mining here is you're going to get these low tier mana crystals, and you can actually spend these on something very, very important. I didn't actually realize this like during early access until much later on, but if you go to the shop, and don't worry, you can still do this as a free-to-play player. You can go head over to the exchange shop in the Mana Crystal Exchange, and then what you should do, be doing here is go ahead and get like the extra Encore missions, and when you unlock instant dungeons, through the Encore missions and instant dungeon keys, that's the best area to farm gear. So if I go back to instant dungeon, or sorry, not instant dungeon, but Encore missions, if I was to click into this, this is strictly for getting gear. So in terms of leveling up, progressing, this is your best bet here for trying to get good gear to level up and equip. That's gonna like get you over those humps where you might be stuck. So this is really helpful to know as well. Let's see if there's anything else here. I think that crafting can be a little bit difficult sometimes. It requires a lot of resource. I would look at the hunter weapons, and if you get an SSR here, I would probably say the best hunter weapons would be like Emma's. Definitely Chaz is good. Libor is good. Seo Geo is really good as well. I would look this up separately if you get any of these SSRs, and then you can kind of see what's best here. That's probably for a separate video. And that's pretty much it for the most part. Hopefully I didn't leave out anything. I will say, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, Army of Shadows is a big part of the game after the Egress fight, but I've already done a video on that, so what I'll do is I'll just link that down in the description if you guys want to know more about the Shadows. There's a very specific way you should build them out and avoid some mistakes there. And as I mentioned earlier, yeah, I'll do a separate video on the shop, and if you're going to spend a little bit, what is best to spend in the shop just to make it as efficient as possible with some of the money you guys might want to spend on the game. But yeah, that is completely optional. But hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Let me know if I left out anything. I don't think I did. But yeah, let me know in the comments, or if there's any specific videos you guys want to see as well. I'm always open to ideas here. And subscribe if you're new. Like the video, it really helps me out as a small content creator. Hoping to get monetized soon, so that's the goal, and I appreciate all the love, guys. So thanks again, take care, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.